What's up guys, welcome to Munchkins Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Munchkins logging in to bring you another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. And welcome back to another Should You Pull video. And in this video we are going to take a look at Ultimecia'S Lost Chapter banner. So before we do start, like and subscribe if you haven't already. It does help the channel guys, and I really do appreciate all the support that you guys give me. And without further ado, let's start this video. Alright guys, so we'll start this video off with Paine's EX because she is going to be getting a realization on the release of this Lost Chapter. So she gets the ability Sword Stance, which is a 6-hit AoE Brave plus HP attack. This will increase the Brave damage dealt to a single target and increasing the Brave damage dealt to enemies afflicted with the status break debuff. This will have a 120% max Brave overflow limit, and the HP damage is going to be divided equally amongst all enemies. This will turn to the plus variant while her Dress Sphere buff is at 5 stacks, and this will have a slightly slow recast speed. At 1 out of 3, this will increase the Brave damage dealt, and at 2 out of 3, this will increase the max Brave overflow limit, and finally at 3 out of 3, this will increase the recast speed. Now as for her realization, at 0 out of 3 when she's using the Dancing Sword, this will now become a 4-hit AoE melee Brave plus AoE HP attack, delivered twice. This will also increase in Brave potency. Now the plus variant is pretty much the same, with obviously much higher increase in the Brave potency. However, this will now slightly improve the party initial Brave, max Brave attack and defense of effects of her wing arts. This will also slightly improve the enemy's initial Brave, max Brave attack and defense down effects of the wing arts. So it is recommended to use the plus variant. Now at 1 out of 3 limit break, this will increase her max Brave by 40% and her attack by 60%, and at 2 out of 3 when the quest starts, she will have 3 stacks of the Dress Spheres up for 6 turns, which obviously has a limit of 5, and will also have the Wing Arts buff for 6 turns as well. Now when the battle starts, she will also inflict the status break on all enemies for 5 turns. And finally at 3 out of 3 when she's using the Dancing Sword or the plus variant, this will have increase in potency and will recover 1 use of her break attack ability up to its initial value. She will also have access to her Brave attack plus while she has the Dress Sphere buff up. This will be a 3-hit melee Brave attack and will have access to Triple Cut, which is going to be her Brave attack when Wing Arts is active as well. This will be a 6-hit melee Brave attack. Also, when she's got Wing Arts, she will have access to her HP attack plus, which is going to be a 3-hit melee Brave plus HP attack, which will also have a 120% max Brave overflow limit. Now the bonus sphere that she is going to be getting for this one is Weak Attack Up Down All. When hitting the target's weakness, this will raise the party's attack by 5% for 3 turns, as well as lowering the enemy's attack by 10%. Alright guys, so after hearing all this information regarding Paine's EX Plus, how much ingots should you be investing on Paine if you want to use her moving forward? Honestly, 3 out of 3 is going to be the way to go here. For the main reason being the longevity reason. She gets a recovery to 1 use of her break attack ability up to its initial value. You gain access to better Brave attack plus and a better HP attack plus as well. The main problem with Paine previously was she didn't really have a very good HP attack plus, so you ended up using a lot of her abilities, so this kind of fixes that problem. My only worry here is she doesn't actually get a lot of increase in her max Brave overflow limit. She only gets 1, which is kind of really head scratching. She only gets it on her she actually only gets her on her EX, and she doesn't get it anywhere else on her EX Plus, which is very strange. She gets a lot of increase in her Brave potency, but no increase in her max Brave overflow limit. Now this just means she is going to fall off on the DPS department, whereas previously she was doing really great amount of damage. But I think what Square Enix has done is basically made her into a debuffer rather than an actual an aura kind of character instead of doing damage. So that is one of the most unfortunate things in regarding to her EX Plus, and hopefully she does get an LD in the future that sort of fixes this problem. But as of now, using her, just be prepared that she is not going to be doing the biggest of damage like she used to when she first came out. Alright guys, now let's move on to Ultimecia'S LD, which gives her the ability Shockwave Pulsar. This will have 3 uses, and it's going to be an 8-hit Dark AoE Magic Brave attack plus AoE HP attack. This will have increased Brave damage dealt to a single target, or when attacking a single target, sorry. It will also have a 200% max Brave overflow limit. The HP damage is going to be split, and will grant her 5 levels of Maleficium, I think that's how you pronounce it, and Sorcerer's Interference for 6 turns. Now at 1 out of 3 limit break, this will increase her attack by 20% and increasing her max Brave by 10%, as well as increasing the Brave damage dealt. At 2 out of 3, she will get the raise in attack and max Brave again, and extending the duration of Sorcerer's Interference by 4. At 3 out of 3, this will again increase her attack and max Brave, and will get 1 extra use. Alright guys, so after hearing all this information regarding Ultimecia'S LD, how much should you be investing on her, or should you be investing on her if you haven't so already in the past? So basically her LD just fixes the problem of the stacking buff. Where before you really don't want to use a lot of her abilities because you want to stack it up in order to gain access to the plus variants of her abilities before you start using them. So you had to do a lot of HP attack plus, maybe a couple of Brave attack plus if you really need to, but most people would just keep using her HP attack plus until her stack goes up to 5. So now this LD sort of fixes it. All you have to do is use it once and basically you're there already. Of course you can still do it the long way, especially if there's multiple waves. You can sort of get it up there, and so you don't use up a lot of your LD abilities. However, the LD isn't affected by the stacking, so it doesn't really matter if you use it at the start because it doesn't have a plus variant. So you can definitely use her LD straight away, and therefore you have access to the plus variants for both her ability 1 and ability 2. So that's pretty much what you get for Ultimecia'S LD. Unfortunately, we still aren't going to be getting her burst weapon at this point in time in the global version. It has already come out in the JP version, so if you are planning to skip this banner, you can definitely pull her kit later down the track when her burst and LD is in one banner. However, I do have to warn you guys that there is a separate banner which will have her burst plus another character's LD, which is Penelo. So if you do plan to, or if you do plan to get her LD here, you can just pull her burst later down the track with a different character's LD in the banner as well. So I guess it's up to you whether you want to invest on her now, get the LD so you can pull on a different banner, or just skip through this banner and go for her LD and burst, which are also going to be in one banner. Alright guys, so we're finally at the end of this video, and the final question remains is, should you pull? Now, as I mentioned earlier, it's really up in the air for you whether you pass on this banner or not, because there are going to be 2 different banners for her burst, one including her LD and one including another character's LD. So if you did invest on her LD now, then you can pretty much pass on the other banner which has her LD and go for the other character's LD. So unfortunately, there's really nothing enticing about this banner apart from Ultimecia'S LD, which really makes her a little bit more powerful. She did lack the DPS later down the Chaos era, so this sort of fixes that as well, seeing as she will get a total of 60% of her attack with her LD, so fully maxed out, by the way. So I do suggest using tickets just to chase for the LD. You still have the opportunity to get Shantoto's burst weapon here, but again, probably not well worth chasing for her burst. Even though I say that, I end up using a lot of my gems because I managed to get her burst and couldn't get her LD, but that's beside the point. The point is, the only thing that's really enticing here is going to be Ultimecia'S LD. Paine is, unfortunately to me, like I said earlier, her DPS is just underwhelming. I had hopes that she actually would have gotten a little bit more overflow, especially at 3 out of 3. I don't know if the devs sort of missed this, because her HP damage is split. I know she gets 2 HP attacks, but still, it's pretty underwhelming, especially if there's only one target. That means she's only doing 4 hits plus her HP attack twice. So altogether, if you are planning to pull on this banner, just use your tickets. Try not to use your gems too much. Although if you have already or feel like investing on her LD so you don't have to later down the track, that is also an option. Anyway guys, that's it for this video. Please do remember to click like and subscribe if you haven't already. It does help the channel, and I really do appreciate all the support that you guys give me. It also helps with the YouTube algorithm, as well as hitting that bell button if you don't want to miss any of my videos. Follow me on Twitter and on Facebook at Munchkins Gaming. Leave down in the comments below if you are planning to pull for this one, or are you planning to wait for her burst weapon to come out on a separate banner. Of course, again, this is just a friendly reminder that Penelo's LD will be included in one of her burst banner as well. So let me know down in the comments below. This is Munchkins logging off. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next level.